In the darkness of space, silence is never truly silent. Something vast, 7 miles wide, gliding at 130,000 miles per hour, cuts through the void toward our small blue world. Scientists call it 31 Atlas. Others whisper it might not be natural at all. Behind the equations and orbital charts, one question lingers like static in the night. What if someone sent it? For some, it's a warning. For others, a test. A Harvard professor dares to ask whether this might be an alien probe, designed, not born. And as Earth turns unknowingly beneath its path, a handful of astronomers stare into the black, tracing a trajectory that makes too little sense for comfort. It came from behind the sun, from the hidden half of our sky, as though it wanted not to be seen. But that isn't all that haunts this story. Decades-old recordings speak of pilots who fell into trances mid-flight, voices claiming to speak through them, declaring humanity the only intelligent race still at war. Structures on Mars shaped like perfect squares, ancient echoes of civilizations that may have fled one dying planet to seed another. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's something older, something watching. What's racing toward us could be a rock, or it could be a message written in motion, a reminder that we are not alone. Today, we'll explore these stories, one by one, and uncover what might really be hidden behind them. Harvard scientist warns, an alien probe may be coming for Earth. In this episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe dives into a story that sounds like pure science fiction, but it isn't. His guest brings up Dr. Avi Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist known for defying conventional astronomy. Loeb believes that a 7-mile-wide object moving at over 130,000 miles per hour might not be a natural rock at all. He says it could be an alien probe, a messenger from beyond our solar system, and it may be on a direct course with Earth by the year 2027. Scientists call it 31 Atlas, the largest interstellar object ever detected, but its strange speed, its metallic signature, and its trajectory coming from behind the sun have left researchers divided. Joe and his guest wrestle with the idea. Is this science or something far stranger?
Do you hear about that fucking object that's hurtling towards Earth at like 130,000 miles an hour?
No, that might solve all our problems.
Some intergalactic object that's this guy Avi Loeb, he's a professor at Harvard that believes it might be an alien probe.
Wow.
And he was talking about the odds of this thing being in the trajectory that it is, entering into our solar system in a direct path with Earth. The odds are extremely low. And at the place where it's doing it, it's when the Earth is the opposite side of the sun, so it's coming from behind the sun. And it's so it makes it difficult to detect. And that this object is in a direct line to come to Earth in 2027.
Do they have a trajectory of where it's going to land?
I don't think they totally know that yet. I think they're trying to calculate whether or not it's actually going to hit Earth or come near Earth or pass by Earth or what it is. Like
why do they think it's an alien satellite or whatever?
Well, there's this guy Avi Loeb, this professor that I'm discussing. He also had an analysis of another object that passed by Earth a few years back that they named, and they said that this thing had a very bizarre metallic sort of a look to it that he did not think, based on the shape of it and the way it was traveling, that it was natural. So he thought that that could have been some sort of an alien craft as well. I don't know. It's too fun. It's too fun.
But as it gets closer, we could probably decipher.
Scientists give chilling update on mysterious interstellar object racing through our solar system as they warn it's even bigger than we thought. Provide a chilling update on a mysterious interstellar object that's racing through our solar system. Using data from the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, experts have revealed just how big the object dubbed 31 Atlas really is. According to their analysis, the object measures roughly 7 miles in diameter. Holy fuck. How big is New York City? Bigger than Mount Everest, making it the largest interstellar object ever spotted. Professor Avi Loeb, theoretical physicist and cosmologist from Harvard University, suggested the object could be an alien spacecraft. However, not everyone is convinced. Chris Lintott, an astronomer at the University of Oxford, told Live Science any suggestion that it's artificial is nonsense on stilts. He added that these claims are an insult to the exciting work going on to understand this object. But Harvard's legit, and Avi Loeb is a legit astronomer.
Right. I mean, let's not rule anything out.
Yeah.
As it gets closer.
There's something about it, about the way it's traveling, that it's bizarre. But it doesn't have a trail like a comet does.
Right.
We can scroll up a little so I can see that. The images of the comet were actually snapped by the Vera C. Rubin before it was officially discovered. However, since it was identified on July 1st, just a little bit ago, scientists have scoured back through data to find out more about the mysterious object. New study published on RXIV, whatever that is. More than 200 researchers have confirmed the likely size of the comet's main body, known as its nucleus. Their analysis suggests the nucleus has a radius of around 3.5 miles. That translates to a diameter or width of about 7 miles. To put that in perspective, bigger than Mount Everest, twice the size of Mount Kilimanjaro. Fuck.
Way smaller.
Wow.
Yeah, so the, how do you say it?
Oumuamua, I think.
Oumuamua, discovered in 2017. He came on and talked to us about that. Was believed to be around 0.2 miles wide. And comet Borisov, discovered in 2019, was roughly 0.61 kilometer wide. So this thing is fucking huge.
Yeah.
So, previously speaking to Mail Online, Professor Lowe pointed out that its impressive speed of 130,000 miles per hour as an indication that it might be controlled by aliens. He said it's difficult to imagine a natural process that would favor a plunge towards the inner solar system at 60 kilometers per second, he said. An alternative is that the object targets the inner solar system by some technological design. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, hopefully they come in peace.
Well, that might be the end of the Earth. Maybe that's like, they realize like that's when AI starts to take over and they think it's chaos. So like, it's just, that's when it's going to happen. So let's just like launch a 7-mile wide thing into the Earth and just start all over again like the dinosaurs.
Well, that you're saying it hits and then our AI fights it?
No.
Or they...
It wipes out. The AI takes over and it's like, this isn't going to work. So it wipes it out. Just like when the dinosaurs were here, the dinosaurs were too powerful. And they're like, yeah, let's just fucking start from scratch. Maybe that's how they like reset the game.
Huh. And then, so humanity is wiped out?
Everything's wiped out. Yeah, we start fresh with new organisms. And then they come along and do genetic engineering just like they did with us and monkeys and create a new version of humans. But this time it's a little less territorial, a little more inquisitive, a little more interested in innovation, a little less interested in dominating and controlling resources. Because that's what fucked us. Territorial apes get high technology and use territorial behavior to defend and acquire resources, and that creates war. Did you see that fucking dude? There's a dude who, this is a crazy story, Mr. Ballin and Tom Segura was on Mr. Ballin, and Mr. Ballin explained this thing that happened. I forget what year it was.
It's in the 70s, I think.
Okay, so this Mexican pilot was flying, and in the middle of his flying, he got confused. He didn't know what the fuck happened. He fell asleep, and he woke up and he was over the ocean. And he's like, how did I get over the ocean? This doesn't even make any sense. And the amount of gas that was missing from his plane didn't make any sense that he was able to get this far. And what they're saying, and there's a recording of this, is that this guy went into a trance and was channeling some alien intelligence that was explaining through this guy's voice that the human race is the only intelligent race in the universe that still uses war and still kills people and engages in large-scale conflict and has nuclear weapons, and that they have to stop doing this or that someone's going to step in. It's a crazy story. Play the story.
Someone's going to step in?
Could we play it? Some of it?
I don't know.
Just to give credit to Mr. Ballin?
I'll try. Well, I have to find that video.
Well, everybody should just go to it. If you just tell me how to go to it, I'll just drive people to see it.
His Instagram account with Tom, but he's got a really good YouTube channel too, where he goes into all sorts of wild stories like this.
Yeah, but this was a great one. And then there's an actual audio recording of this guy saying this. Here, I'll send you the audio recording, Jamie. If you can't find it real quick. I forgot. I sent it to Tom. After I saw Tom on the show, I was like, I go, that's fucking crazy, man. And he's like, dude, wild. And then I sent him this. I said, did you know there's an actual recording that you can listen to of the guy saying this? So if you go like halfway into it, you got it? Oh, you got it. Okay. So a certain distance into it, you hear the guy talking in this very bizarre monotone Spanish. Was there a UFO? Like, why did they show that UFO, that fake UFO?
Making a video to watch to keep you interested on YouTube.
Oh, keep me interested. I'll be interested anyway.
Here it is.
Yeah, let me hear it. He is speaking, but he does not know. The equipment is too primitive. This is the only way to convey. Lower that a little. A microphone. The equipment is too primitive. This is the only way to convey their message. After almost an hour, the beings would release the young aviator pilot from his hypnotic state and return control of the plane so that he could receive instructions. And at the same time, he managed to land at the Acapulco airport. Interesting. You know, that's the thing. Like, if there was a unique event where something happened and an alien race did interact with human beings and then never again, no one would believe you, even if it was real. If it was that's the problem with like unique events. We base reality on what we experience and what everybody else experiences on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
What we have evidence of. But if something happened that was completely unique like that, where they said, like, this is the only way we can communicate. Their equipment is too primitive.
Right.
We'll just take over this guy's mind and have him say it. Like, who is ever going to believe that?
That's the quote translated.
Okay, the alien message that spoke through Rafael Pacheco Perez to the air traffic controller. It says, he speaks because he is ordered to. That is, it is his voice he speaks, but not of his own free will. We use it as a microphone. No matter who we are or where we come from, it is enough for you to know that we are beings of this universe where you belong. Our planet is many light years away, but we are physically equal. I repeat that all races in the universe are physically equal. You are not alone in the universe, and there are other races that are far away from you, and we are watching you. But he said more than that. What is the full extent of his quote? Because he said something about you're the only race that still engages in warfare. I want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad.
I don't. I definitely think there's other life forms out there.
I do
and
too,
they're
but I
more
don't know what
advanced.
really happened.
Yeah.
I really wish I knew. I mean, I really
But
wish I knew.
this guy did fall asleep while he was flying a plane, so can we really trust him?
Right, and he did wake up over the ocean. But if he did wake up over the ocean, it doesn't make sense that he got over the ocean, if that's true.
Right.
Explain that. Like, how did he get there?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Did you take over the plane, move it with your spaceship? Or why'd you put him over the ocean? So if he crashed, he wouldn't kill anybody?
Right.
Why'd you do that? Like, what is all this?
And what's the thing with the gas being gone?
Right. Because I guess they, picked it up and took it.
Huh.
I don't know. We are watching you. What else does it say? Definite surprise. Issued a certificate stating he was in perfect health and had not consumed any drugs. It ruined his career and he never piloted a plane again. Wow.
This is his first solo flight too.
Whoa. Imagine your first solo flight. You're like, I am going to pull a fucking gag on these motherfuckers. I got an idea. I got some extra gas.
That was 1976?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't know if I believe that account, but I do believe that there's other life forms out there.
My problem is I want to believe that account. That's always the problem with all these things. I want to believe. I want to believe so bad that I don't think about them rationally sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, these stories are all, it's like whether you trust the source or not, but
what would you do, though?
The universe is too big for us to be the only ones here.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't care that Mars doesn't have any water. Maybe they don't need water.
Well, they think Mars used to have a full atmosphere. And do you know that there's structures on Mars that they've observed even recently that look like perfect squares that are huge?
Huh.
There's this one that I showed to Elon. I go, what is that? Tell me what do you think that is? Like, well, should probably go there and look around. Like, yeah, we should probably go there and look around.
And he's
like,
the guy to do it.
But what is, like, he didn't want to say what he
Right.
thought it was, but I'm looking at him like, do you think this could have been at one point in time a structure? Because it has perfect right angles and it's square and it's huge.
Right.
They said it's at least hundreds of meters across, but it might be miles across. It's rough estimates, but they know it's large. You ever seen it? Jamie will show it to you. But it's like a literal square. There's a bunch of shit that's weird there. That's like the face on Mars, but I'm not totally convinced about that. But that one's nuts. Like, that's kind of crazy. Didn't that look kind of crazy?
It's on the right?
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That looks like a fucking square.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a foundation.
I mean, tell me what the fuck that is. What is that?
Right.
That does not look normal. Those angles don't look normal at all. That lower left-hand corner, like, what is that? And then the fact that it's roughly a square. I mean, I don't know if it's a square or a rectangle. It seems like it's a little taller than it is wide.
Right.
But whatever it is, it looks like a fucking structure, man. It's weird.
Well, just because we can't exist there doesn't mean other life forms can't exist there. Who
Or
knows?
other life forms used to exist there.
Right.
Like, imagine if there was, like, if there's life on Earth right now, today, and if Mars at one point in time had a sustainable atmosphere, like millions and millions of years ago, what if there was life on Mars? What if we are the offspring of the life on Mars? What if those fucking guys just realized, like, hey, this place is falling apart. Let's shoot over to Earth and reestablish.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be why we're so different than every other primate that's here.
I never thought about it like that. That might be true. I just think it's so vast and we know so little about everything, it's possible. That's just, I kind of like broaden it that way, where it's like, it's all possible. The universe is infinite and we know very little about it.
Yeah, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's just not likely. I mean, it seems, because you haven't seen anything. Like, it's not likely.
But we're trying to use our logical brains to figure out. It's like, could this be possible? It's like, there's so much we don't know, and we have such a limited scope with our human minds to even comprehend stuff. So it's like, I don't know.
What's true is that 31 Atlas is real. Detected in July of 2024 by the Vera C. Rubin Observatory. It's an enormous interstellar comet estimated at 7 miles wide, nearly the height of Mount Everest. It's racing through our solar system at 130,000 miles per hour, faster than almost any known comet of its size. But here's the twist. Despite its eerie speed and size, no credible evidence suggests it's an alien craft. Harvard's Avi Loeb, who previously claimed that the 2017 interstellar object Oumuamua might have been artificial, believes such anomalies deserve open-minded study. Yet most astronomers, from Oxford to NASA, say his interpretation stretches far beyond the data. They argue that Oumuamua's motion and brightness could be explained by hydrogen outgassing, not alien engineering. The same likely applies to 31 Atlas, a massive comet breaking apart, catching sunlight in strange ways, not a probe under intelligent control. Still, Loeb's theory taps into a haunting truth. Humanity has only glimpsed a fraction of what crosses the dark ocean of space. If something truly artificial ever entered our system, it might look ordinary at first, just another dot on a telescope feed. And as Earth waits for 31 Atlas to pass, the question lingers in the dark. What if the next one isn't a comet at all? Did the ancient Egyptians possess forbidden cosmic knowledge? In this conversation, Joe Rogan and his guest drift into the mysteries of the ancient world, the kind of questions that haunt archaeologists and dreamers alike. A simple pendant shaped like the Egyptian god, Horus sparks a deeper discussion. Did the ancient Egyptians know something about consciousness and the cosmos that modern science is only beginning to rediscover? They talk about the pineal gland, the so-called third eye, and how the eye of Horus mirrors its shape almost perfectly. From there, the talk grows bigger. Hidden chambers beneath the pyramids, civilizations that may have vanished tens of thousands of years ago, and the idea that humanity might be far older and far stranger than we've been told.
They got you under that eye of Sauron. They're trying to find all your flaws, and everybody's got them.
That's why I got this little bird right here. It tells
What is
me
that?
It tells me all the secrets.
What is that bird?
I didn't know what this was when I bought it, right? This is Horus, right?
Oh, wow.
And I found it in this place, this found items place about 10 years ago, and I just liked it. Actually, I thought it was native, right? I didn't realize it was like Egyptian, and I've always liked this one because it felt like it was a little bit of both. And I didn't know anything about it at first, but the reason I never take it off anymore is like when I started reading about like what it meant to the Egyptians was that it meant like safe passage as you journey through this world and get ready to go on to the next one. You know what I mean? And protect you against evil, protect you and for health and happiness. They called it initiation. So it makes a lot of people tie it to stupid shit like Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's just a Thunderbird.
Well, the Eye of Horus is essentially the pineal gland, where the seat of the soul, where the brain produces dimethyltryptamine. That's the Eye of Horus. Have you ever seen the image of the Eye of Horus next to the pineal gland?
I'm not sure. Maybe I have, but I'm ignorant. I didn't.
The ancient Egyptian.
What's pineal gland?
The pineal gland is it's a gland that's in the center of your brain. It's essentially the third eye. In reptiles, it actually has a retina and a lens, or a cornea and a lens, and it's where now they believe that DMT is actually produced by the entire brain. It's also produced by the liver and the lungs, but it's like the most spiritual of all the psychedelics, and they believe that the Egyptians had some sort of there's so little understood about truly ancient Egypt, but look at that. Look what it looks like. I mean, the Eye of Horus essentially it's a diagram of the pineal gland, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy when you see it that way.
Wow.
Because they knew things, and we don't know what they knew. We don't understand how they built the pyramids. We don't understand how old they are. There's so much speculation about the true age of that civilization.
And figuring out like how they harnessed energy and all that stuff.
We have no idea. I mean, there's this group of scientists that believe that there's structures under the pyramids that go 2 kilometers deep into the earth.
Right.
And there's a lot of controversy about that. But these guys they've had multiple readings of these things, and they're pretty sure that they're accurate. And they've been accurate with other things, like other temples that are underground, that are 50 feet underground. They've mapped those things out with the same technology. So there's a precedent to it. These people knew things, and we don't understand how they knew it or what they knew, and we don't know if the people that lived in ancient Egypt that we considered ancient Egypt, like 2000 BC, we don't know if they found those structures or if those people built those structures. There's so much weirdness with Egypt because the construction is so beyond anything else that exists anywhere on Earth, and especially when you're dealing with 4,500 plus years ago. 4,500 years ago is the conventional estimations, but there's a lot of these heretic archaeologists that think no, this is a lot older than that. I mean, there's a King's List that goes back 30,000
that's what I've been hearing.
plus
They're saying
years.
like 30,000 years.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds nuts to people that want to have this conventional dating of the dawn of civilization being about 6,000 years ago, but there's a lot of evidence that that's not accurate. There's a lot, and I think the most profound evidence is just the vastness of the Egyptian empire and what they're just the vastness of the construction, the way they were able to bring these stones from 500 miles away through the mountains that are 80 tons. How did they cut them perfectly? How did they put them 120 feet in the air and put them in the ceiling? Like, what the fuck was going on then? What the fuck was going on where people were supposedly just getting out of hunter and gathering? I mean, this is like the emergence. Like a couple thousand years earlier, we're supposed to be like using stone tools and throwing them at animals. And now you have these people that build this immense structure that's perfectly aligned, a true north, south, east, and west, has 2,300,000 stones in it. What? It's aligned with Orion stars, the stars in the Orion belt. Like, what?
Maybe what happened was AI took them down too.
It might be.
Way back.
It might be. I mean,
it's bad. I'm just saying, right?
It could be.
Stuff could be. I forget who said that, but it's like, I mean, I'm all for science, but in the end of the day, no matter what we think we know, it's still just like it's like a flame in a dark night. There's so much out there beyond what we can see.
Yeah.
So I always kind of thought that myself. I mean, it's a basic thing nowadays. You know, when I was like a kid, you know, a lot of people have had this thought, but it's like, I'm always like looking up here in the stars, and it's like, if they're saying that the stars are basically infinite, then it's infinite possibility for other planets with life on it, which basically is a certainty, right?
It's basically certainty.
It's a certainty.
Yeah, it's basically certainty. And the more we explore in the known universe, the more we understand that it's much more likely that this is not an anomaly, that there's many, many planets out there. So who knows? Maybe an infinite number that have life.
So who knows what's going on with those Egyptians?
Well, we don't know how long ago they did this. You know, there's just so much speculation.
Well, and the version of Egypt that we're taught about, it was like just the latest stage of it.
Oh yeah.
Like I read where it went on for so many thousands of years, and there was this whole evolution of those kingdoms. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about throughout Africa.
Yep. All the sub-Saharan area.
All of that too.
That's where they believe that Atlantis was. I mean, there's this thing called the Richat structure that again, these heretic archaeologists believe was the site of Atlantis. The Sub-Saharan Africa was a rich rainforest thousands of years ago. There's whale bones. They find whale bones in the Saharan desert.
That's crazy.
It's fucking madness, man. The history of Earth is so confusing. Like Graham Hancock says it best, we're a species with amnesia, you know? And that's what's wild about
true.
all this ancient
We don't remember
shit.
anything.
Well, we definitely don't remember shit from 20,000 years ago. It's all just speculation. And, you know, and people have been in this form, you know, the form of Homo sapiens now for 300,000+ years. Like, who knows how long, and who knows where they learn this stuff from? I mean, who knows if they learn this stuff from visitors? We don't know. I mean, if we did get visited 20,000, 30,000 years ago, what evidence would be left? You know, and are we being visited now? Well, we're about to find out, because if this shit keeps popping off with Israel and Iran, and they start going nuclear, you know, that was the great hope of the people that really believe in aliens, is that what they're watching over us is to make sure we don't fuck everything up, that we're so close to emerging as a type 1 civilization. We're so close to getting out of this barbaric, you know, territorial apes with thermonuclear weapons. We're so close to passing this stage that we're in right now, as long as we don't fuck it up. And who knows how many times people might have fucked it up in the past. That might be what we're looking at when we're looking at ancient Egypt. There might be the remnants. And there's also natural disasters.
Yeah, and that's all I meant by AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It could be our greatest natural disaster.
You get there, but I like your, it's a very positive outlook, though, when you're talking about getting to the next.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? Type
1 civilization.
What does that mean?
Okay, there's type 1, type 2, and type 3 civilizations, and I don't remember who was the one who formulated this. It might have been Sagan. Jamie, you can pull it up so I don't fuck this up. But
come on, Jamie.
It's essentially here it is. Type 1 civilization, known as a planetary civilization, defined by our Kardashev scale as the one that's harnessed and controls all available energy on its planet. This includes utilizing all forms of energy from sources like solar, wind, geothermal, and potentially even harnessing nuclear fusion. A Type 1 civilization is also characterized by a global, technologically advanced society with a high degree of interconnectedness and the ability to manage planetary scale resources and weather. So we're on the way to that. And AI, in best case scenario, helps us achieve that. And we're close. We're probably a lot closer to that than we think. Type 2 civilization is stellar, meaning we populate other planets. Type 3 is galactic. We populate the cosmos, and we explore the cosmos.
Wow.
We're on our way to that. And it's inevitable. If we used to live in caves and now, you know, we fly in hypersonic jets, this is what's coming. And it's whether or not we fuck it up along the way.
Beam me up, man.
The connection between the eye of Horus and the pineal gland is one of those myths that dances between symbolism and science. Anatomically, the shapes are similar, but there's no proof that ancient Egyptians understood neuroanatomy the way we do today. What they did understand was symbolic consciousness. Horus's eye represented awakening, protection, and the ability to see beyond the physical world, ideas that align with spiritual insight rather than literal brain diagrams. Modern imaging does confirm that the pineal gland releases trace amounts of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a compound linked to dream states and mystical experiences, but it's found throughout the body, not in the brain alone, and there's no evidence the Egyptians chemically induced it. Still, their obsession with light, geometry, and cosmic alignment hints at a civilization guided by principles that blur science and spirituality. As for the pyramids, modern archaeology shows they were constructed around 4,500 years ago during Egypt's 4th dynasty. The blocks, some weighing over 80 tons, were likely moved using sledges, ramps, and teams of skilled workers, not alien technology. Yet the precision, their perfect alignment to true north and to Orion's belt, continues to fuel debate. Even today, scanning projects reveal cavities deep beneath the Great Pyramid, suggesting there are still secrets left to uncover. But perhaps the most haunting part of this discussion is not what the Egyptians built. It's what they remembered. As Graham Hancock once said, "We are a species with amnesia." Maybe the question isn't how advanced Egypt was, but how many civilizations came before, only to vanish beneath sand and sea. And if Rogan is right, that we are now approaching a Type 1 civilization able to harness the full energy of our planet, then the story of ancient Egypt may be more than history. It may be a mirror showing us what happens when knowledge outpaces wisdom, and when the light of a great civilization burns too bright, too fast. Scientists plan to resurrect the woolly mammoth, and more. In this episode, Joe Rogan sits down with a scientist whose work sounds like something out of a Michael Crichton novel. Their goal isn't just to study extinct animals, it's to bring them back. The woolly mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, even the dodo. Using preserved DNA and advanced gene editing, researchers are racing to reintroduce species that vanished thousands of years ago. But the question lingers beneath the excitement. Should we do it? Because in the long shadows of extinction, science might be playing God again.
What other animals are you going to bring back?
Well,
What's the plan? What's the plan, Beth?
well, we have announced, obviously, the mammoth, and the thylacine, that's the Tasmanian tiger, and the dodo, which is my favorite. See my dodo.
Oh, that's cool.
But we have DNA from lots of different animals, so, you never know.
So, but is there like so you've announced the woolly mammoth,
That's right.
and where will that be?
Where are we going to put mammoths?
Yeah. Are you going to reintroduce them into areas?
Eventually, that is the goal, to have animals that live in wild habitats. But this will be a
But
very
not
long process.
Direwolves.
No, we won't be reintroducing direwolves.
Okay, so not predators, but you would consider...
Well, not direwolves.
Oh, so you weren't joking about the cheetah?
Well, I mean, we don't currently have any plans to bring cheetahs or saber-toothed cats back to life.
But you might. I don't like how you said that. But if you did that, like, that would be where it would get sketchy. If you reintroduce an animal that can run 60 miles an hour to the plains, those poor antelopes who've been like living it up, because they evolved, you know that, pronghorn antelopes, the reason why they're so fast, they evolved to get away from these cheetahs that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. It's true. But we know also from looking at the cheetahs that we have that they didn't only eat pronghorns. They were eating lots of things in their habitat. We
Because
found
pronghorns are fast.
they had to eat something else, otherwise they would die, right?
They had to eat some slow stuff because the pronghorns are like, let's get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, for every species, there will be different work that has to be done to figure out whether and where is a good idea to reintroduce them. And for each of the species that we're working with, we have councils that we've put together in the part of the world where we would bring them back together to have conversations about where they should go, whether they should go, how many there should be, and who is willing to be the long-term stewards for these animals.
Now, I know that they've talked about releasing woolly mammoths if they ever do make them in Siberia, right?
Well, right now we're not focusing on Russia because issues.
Obviously.
Right. So probably it would be somewhere in North America.
Maybe that's why Trump wants Greenland.
For mammoths.
Be a good
Isn't
place
Greenland
to put
filled
them.
with ice? I mean, mammoths really need a lot of
The
lush,
vegetation.
Yeah. So I think maybe
right.
not. Yeah.
That's right.
But there's plenty of space in Alaska, right? Or northern Canada, or
Oh,
even around the
boy.
plains. I mean, mammoths lived through warm periods and cold periods.
Right.
Obviously, they're cold adapted because they're big and furry. but-
Alaska would be the move, right? Because it's like the size of 1/3 of the United States, and they lived there,
Right.
and
Right. And I'm not worried about the mammoth population getting out of control. I mean, these are animals that take 10 to 14 years to reach reproductive maturity. They have a 2-year pregnancy. It's not like
Right.
there's suddenly going to be 1,000 mammoths.
Right.
This will be a very slow and deliberate and careful process. And like with the direwolves, there will be a stage in between the first calf being born and understanding how they're able to thrive in whatever habitat they're in. And these are really important parts of the de-extinction process.
I was blown away when I heard that mammoths lived up till about 4,000 years ago on an island.
Yes, Wrangel Island off the coast of Siberia, but now maybe even in mainland North America based on that environmental DNA data. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
well, I did
well,
a
the
really-
horses were 4,000 years, right? In that data.
Horses
but it was,
and mammoths,
That was
yeah.
4,000 years old too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, because we're not going to find the last fossils of something.
Right, of course, because
Right.
fossils are so difficult to make.
Right.
Most of the things don't leave fossils when they die.
That's right.
Like, what percentage of the entire fossil record, bad pun, bad word to use there, but in record of animals have been fossilized?
It's really hard to know, right? And because the taphonomy, which means like how things are going to preserve, differs so much depending on where you are in the world. Like when things die in Alaska and you have this glacial silt that preserves things really quickly, we're probably finding a lot of things, right? But we've never found woolly rhinos in North America. So the hypothesis is they never made it across. There was a when the sea level was lower, the Bering Strait was not a sea level. And instead they called Beringia. It was a land bridge.
Right.
And animals walked across that land bridge, including people walked across the land bridge to come into
Which
North
brings
America.
me to the short-faced bear. I don't like how you giggled. Are you guys going to try to bring that thing back?
I don't know. We do have its DNA.
Oh, my goodness.
I love the short-faced bear. You know what I like the most about it is because I think it's so dumb that it's called the short-faced bear. Like, why? Who was giving it that
Right.
common name? Then they're like, oh, here's a bear that if it stands up, it's 12 feet tall. I'm going to call it the short-faced bear. Like,
Right, it's
what?
such an innocuous name for such a terrifying animal.
Right. Yeah.
One of my favorite photos on the internet is a photo of the short-faced bear standing up next to these scientists that are standing there, and you realize the size of it. You're like, that one.
Yeah.
Like, what in the hell?
Have you seen the longhorned bison? This bison that lived 150,000 years ago?
I think I have.
There's a great photo that's somewhere on the internet of a skull on the ground and a scientist laying that
Yeah,
one.
there it is. Yeah, that's crazy.
We have DNA from him.
You might bring that back?
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
What about the Irish elk?
Yep, we could do that one. We
Yeah.
have DNA from the
That thing's
Megaloceros.
nuts. When did
Yeah.
that thing go extinct?
I think that's also the end of the Ice Age. It wasn't in North America, but
Right.
yeah, super cool.
That thing's nuts.
Yeah.
It's like a moose/elk
I love it.
looking thing.
There were also camels in North America. There was a camel called
Yeah.
Camelops. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And a giant beaver, like a 5-foot tall beaver, which,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the giant beaver. Beavers scare me.
especially a 5-foot beaver.
A 5-foot beaver. Think about what a little beaver could do with its teeth. They
People
chew-
have found logs that have been chewed on by this thing. Like, just imagine.
What, did that die out in the Ice Age as
Yes,
well?
yeah.
So that's like 65% of all the megafauna in North America, right?
So many big things. So we lost so many big things.
Thomas Jefferson thought he had discovered a giant lion,
but it was a
turns out
sloth.
it was a sloth.
Yeah.
Giant sloth. It's
There were
named
just
after
the
multiple different
bones?
species of
It's
giant
named
sloths.
after him, Megalonyx jeffersoni.
Wow. Well, when you look at its face, it kind of looks like it could be a cat if you don't know that much.
The plan to resurrect the woolly mammoth isn't fiction anymore. The Texas-based company Colossal Biosciences, led by geneticist George Church and CEO Ben Lamb, is actively working to splice mammoth genes into the DNA of Asian elephants, their closest living relatives. If successful, the result won't be a perfect clone. It will be a hybrid species, engineered to survive in Arctic climates and reintroduced to the tundra of Alaska or northern Canada. The idea is that mammoths could help slow climate change by knocking down trees, compacting snow, and restoring the grasslands that once cooled the planet. But behind the thrill lies controversy. De-extinction may sound like salvation, yet reintroducing lost megafauna raises questions of ethics and ecology. Once released, no one truly knows how these animals would behave, what diseases they might carry, or how they would reshape the environment. The last mammoths died only 4,000 years ago on Wrangel Island, isolated and dwindling, victims of a warming Earth and human expansion. Now humanity stands ready to undo that final extinction. Scientists already hold DNA from other Ice Age giants, the short-faced bear, the Irish elk, even the giant beaver that once roamed North America. Each sequence is a doorway to the past and a temptation to open it. If the mammoth walks again, it will mark the first time humans have reversed extinction on a planetary scale. The boundary between creation and resurrection will blur forever. And maybe that's the real question Joe Rogan's conversation hints at. Are we bringing back life or rewriting the past into something entirely new? Crop circles, the unsolved enigma beneath our skies. In this episode, Joe Rogan and his guest wrestle with one of the strangest modern mysteries, the phenomenon of crop circles. Perfect geometric patterns carved overnight into wheat fields, some spanning the size of football stadiums. For decades, they've been dismissed as pranks, bored men with boards and ropes. But others believe the evidence runs deeper, from unexplained magnetic fields to microscopic metallic spheres scattered in the soil. This conversation explores what might be human art and what might not be human at all. And just when the mystery begins to make sense, the story turns darker, with whispers of military interference, disinformation campaigns, and scientists silenced for digging too deep.
And I also want to find the other side, so that what we're left with is some truth. And not all stories can be fully debunked. And I've had my mind flipped a couple of times. You know, crop circles, hollow moons, some really crazy shit have flipped me around.
Crop circles is a weird one.
So weird.
It's a weird one because when I first saw them, I'm like, what is that? And then I saw that these guys were doing them with boards and string. I was like, oh, it's just people being silly. And then I watched a whole documentary about how the energy that bent these things over caused these nodes to explode as if they had been cooked in a microwave.
Correct.
I'm like, what? And then you find out that the actual stalks are woven together.
Correct.
It's not that they're pressed down, they're woven together. And that these are complex geometric designs that would have taken people weeks to map out. And there's no footprints leading up to it. There's no roads, no machinery, no evidence of any use of any kind of machinery. And these things appear like that. Like people have flown over an area and then flown back an hour or two later, and there's immense football field size, perfect geometry that no one can explain how it was created.
Correct. So the nodes in the stalks, a node is like a knuckle on your fingers. So those are there for phototropism, to bend toward light. So what you're talking about is these things are bent over. They're bent over at right angles. It can only be done with high energy. But also around these crop circles, they're finding microscopic metallic spheroids in around the circles. And that's not a conspiracy theory. They're finding them. And there are these magnetic fields around the circles. And you can see videos online of people going into these crop circles and their hands start to get red. Things are happening to them. So I went into crop circles thinking it was all guys with boards. Mm-hmm. But then when you watch people with boards making a crop circle, it's a mess. They can't do this. And you cannot bend the nodes of reeds and weave them together in a perfect... You can't do it. So that was, as I'm doing the research, I'm like, all right, 99% of them are fake, but there's this 1% that I cannot explain.
The famous video where you see the orbs circling around the field in England and then the crop circle slowly starts to emerge, has that been debunked?
Semi. It's controversial because the guy released that video, I don't know his name offhand, allegedly went to a visual effects house.
Oh, boy.
And released it. But they somehow put that thing together in a matter of hours, which is suspicious. So in my episode on it, I said, all right, here's what the skeptics say. But, you know, in the 1990s to do that kind of VFX work, because it looks real. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To me, I'm on the fence about it. You know,
it's very convenient that they got the footage.
It is.
You know?
It is. Operation Blackbird was a famous operation in 1990 to try and capture the footage live by a great researcher named Colin Andrews. And
he's the guy that does the books on crop circles, right?
yes,
Yeah, he's all in.
he's all in, and he got a lot of support for Blackbird. And not only did nothing happen, he was totally embarrassed by it, and it was all like streaming live, and a lot of people were involved. He's embarrassed. We find out later that while they're like waiting for the circles to happen, just a few miles away, there's a top secret military operation doing whatever they're doing. He doesn't know why. And then he gets a knock on the door from someone, Men in Black, whoever it is, that first offers him money to stop his work, then threatens him with whatever, threatens his family. And he doesn't know who this guy is. They go back and look at the tapes, and he sees the guy in the background of like one of the TV crews. So the theory is some type of intelligence was embedded into Blackbird, made to discredit him. And that was kind of the end of Colin Andrews, because he was a legit researcher at that point. Now he's fringe, and now he's pseudoscience. But I get into that in the episode. That was something I discovered that I never knew, that there was intelligence involved. I didn't know that there was a military op, which is confirmed. It's wild.
So do you think they discredited him on purpose?
Yes.
Interesting. To make the crop circle thing look foolish. But like, what is the crop circle thing? Like, what is out of the believers, what is the best theory?
The believers is that it's a way to message craft, or it's a landing site, or it's some type of communication.
But why would they do it in wheat fields?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. If you have the technology, just
Yeah.
pick up the phone. There's better ways than just mowing wheat down. But I don't understand.
Do you know the one about the Mandelbrot set?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I think that one is really weird because I think it coincides with the fractal creation of the Mandelbrot set by these people that are into this kind of geometry and fractals. They're like, someone made the Mandelbrot set, which is essentially an infinite fractal of like spectacular design.
And this is before Lorenz and the Lorenz attractor. I think it's before that, isn't it?
I don't know.
Before it was mainstream.
Yeah, before it was mainstream,
Right.
Yes. And then when this thing appears and people are like, well, what is this design? And then they connect it to this Mandelbrot set, which is, someone would have to have some very esoteric information to be...
It's the Mandelbrot set using Fibonacci numbers.
Yes.
And the phi, the golden ratio.
And it's accurate.
It's accurate down to inches.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Well, maybe you can, but like how, and how long would it take, and how much planning, and how many people, and what would you use? Like what is the technology they would use to bend those things over that way and weave them? It's very weird stuff.
It's weird.
Because it's these, the way these fractals work, it's this ratio in the geometry is like there's specific sizes. This one is half the size of that one, which is half the size of that one, and it goes on and on forever. And when you see it all, see if you can find the Mandelbrot set.
It's maybe the most spectacular crop circle.
It's weird. It's really weird because it's fucking enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems so stupid. Wow, there's a whole bunch of them. The Mandelbrot set is the one with the look like a heart. About that one right there. Yeah, that's it. That's the Mandelbrot set.
Yep, and there's some other fractals there as well.
I was looking at an article that says these two guys took on the challenge and did it for a TV show on the BBC.
They did. If you watch them do it, it's clumsy AF.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good. Like,
I was trying to find it.
Because
I know they always say that these guys did it, but like, yeah.
You can't really see it there, but those flattened reeds, they're woven together.
With some of the weirder ones, go back to other crop circles. You had some other images before that. There's some other ones. Those spirals.
Right.
Like that one right there. Yeah. That is fucking wild.
That's wild.
Like, this is multiple football fields long and wide. So how? Make that one a little bigger, please.
And one of these, I don't know if it's that one in particular, showed up right next to Stonehenge. Like a tennis ball throw away.
Like, that is crazy. To not, first of all, if you're on the ground, all right, just the measurements alone to make each one the equal distance between circles, in the whatever 6 different blades that you have that stem from the center, they're all the same distance, they're all the same size.
The small circles are the ones that are most interesting, because how hard is that to do?
Right. Right. And they're uniform. And it's like, what is that? Like, what the fuck is that? And if that is a hoax, it's so bizarre that it's only these two goofballs that were making really shitty ones with boards and strings. And yet there's hundreds, if not thousands, of these like really complex ones.
Yeah,
that
those
exist.
those are the guys that are on. You can see them doing it live.
Yeah, but those guys, there's no way they had enough time to do all these things.
And it looked terrible. Janky, look, he's just trampling it.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can certainly make crop circles with a string and a board. You certainly can make crop circles. But it always gets connected, like believing in aliens and everything else. But it's not, no one's even saying aliens. Like, it could be some sort of energy from something that we possess, something that humans possess, that they somehow or another aim at these areas. Like, what is that one above it? Go that one right there above, like right there. What the fuck is that thing? Look at that.
They are in the same count. 80% of them come from the same county in England.
Which is also weird.
Now, people will correct me in the comments, but I believe that middle piece of geometry is a hypercube, isn't it? Isn't that a four-dimensional cube?
I don't know.
A tesseract?
It does look like it, but...
Like, what the fuck? How long would that take? That seems like that would take a long time to do.
Stonehenge is under constant surveillance, and circles show up overnight.
Very weird stuff.
There's an interesting conspiracy
what the fuck, dude?
To crop circles that we can get into later.
Wiltshire has the most crop circles in England.
Yes.
And it's mostly in England, too, which is also weird.
And mostly in Wiltshire.
Man, is there some sort of a theory by the kooks?
Ley lines.
Ley lines.
That they're happening on these segments of energy that intersect.
What is that black and white one, Jamie? Click on that one.
It's just a...
No.
Sorry.
That one. What the fuck is that? Wow.
Wow, on a mountain.
Crazy.
That could be in sand, I think. Those are like sand dunes.
Is that what that is?
Circle 16.
That's crazy.
Well, I've never seen that one. It's wild.
I mean, just the amount of time that it would take to do these things. So, ley lines. So this is the theory?
That's a theory. Have you heard about ley lines?
Kind of.
It's this alleged grid of energy that circles the Earth, and almost like how magnetic fields work. And these energy lines have intersection points, and on these intersection points are things like Stonehenge, Giza.
Whoa.
It's in snow on a mountain in France.
Wow.
Whoa.
Where are the tracks in?
What?
Okay,
what the fuck is that?
So this is
no footprints, no tracks.
Footprints right here.
Yeah, but that
Where?
could be
Right
That
here.
could be the people that discovered it.
Right.
Though.
Oh, there's a guy that did it, though.
Oh,
They're
the guy-
not-
oh,
it's
guy-
an artist
an
that
eye-
did this.
the
This
guy
isn't,
actually
these aren't
did
crop
it.
circles. This is an artist doing it. That's
I
kind of what
see.
I was trying to say.
Fucking incredible. An artist did that?
Yeah, it has the guy's name on that first picture we had here.
Amazing.
Simon Beck.
So the artist angle is a conspiracy angle. There's a man named John Lundberg, who was part of a group called CircleMakers.org, which is an art project and also a sociology experiment. And he would make fake crop circles to see how people would react. Years later, Lundberg and some associates created a documentary called Mirage Men, which is an excellent documentary. And it's mostly about Richard Doty and his disinformation campaign on behalf of the Air Force to discredit the UFO community, drove Paul Benowitz nuts. Bill Moore, who's the guy who essentially brought Roswell out to the public. Bill Moore was taking payments and being fed information from Doty to muddy the waters in the UFO community. He finally came clean in '89, was booed off the stage at MUFON, and everything just unraveled. So it's all disinfo.
They booed him off the stage?
Because he finally said, look, I've been working with the government. A lot of the stuff I've been saying, they told me to say. Majestic 12, all this stuff was coming from Doty, and they didn't want to hear it. And his career was basically over that day.
Wow.
Bill Moore, there was no Roswell story before his book, and that was Doty. So the documentary about Doty was directed and put together by Lundberg and his associates. Lundberg was one of the original circle makers that would make these fake crop circles to see how people would react. I just thought it was an interesting connection.
But it's interesting because clearly some people are making these. But, like, what was the origins of it? Because I'm sure you've seen that image from the newspaper of the devil with a scythe. You know what I mean? And they're talking about crop circles like back in like the 17 and 1800s. 1678. Yeah, 1600s. Wow. First crop circle ever reported was in 1678. According to the story, farmer and a crop mower were arguing about the cost of harvesting the farmer's oat field. The farmer was furious at the mower's price and stormed off, swearing that the devil himself should harvest the crop. That night, a dazzling light lit up the oat field, and in the morning, the farmer discovered perfectly round circles in his crops. He was so frightened by the circles, which he thought could only have been so neatly mowed by the devil or some infernal spirit, that he abandoned any attempt to harvest the field. That's a little sketchy. You're scared of circles. Come on, pussy.
Really, though? If there were crop circles in my backyard, I would be a little nervous.
I would be curious. It's not terrifying, right? They're not something that would scare me away from harvesting my crop.
No, I'm more afraid of the government than I am that stuff.
Crop circles don't seem to be killing anybody.
No.
But it's like, so ley lines. So these things are to differentiate areas so they could see them from the sky. Is that the idea?
The ley lines are the energy lines.
Mm-hmm.
A mystical energy. It's not a scientific energy. And where the lines intersect is where you see sites like Machu Picchu, Giza, Stonehenge, all these ancient sites. There's the ley lines.
Oh.
But ley lines is, it's semi-debunkable, because if you connect enough lines, you're going to find patterns. You're going to find geometry.
Right. You go looking for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Crop circles began as a curious English mystery, strange rings appearing overnight in the fields of Wiltshire and Hampshire. By the 1980s, they spread across the world, sparking a war between skeptics and believers. The skeptical side had its champions. Two pranksters, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, famously demonstrated how they could flatten crops using boards and ropes. Their work explained many sightings, but not all, because even under close study, some circles display traits that defy simple fakery. Stalks bent at perfect 90-degree angles without breaking, electromagnetic anomalies in the soil, and a curious pattern of metallic microspheres that can't easily be dismissed as farm debris. Scientists like Colin Andrews, once supported by the British government, tried to capture a genuine circle forming in real time during Operation Blackbird in 1990. Nothing appeared, at least not on camera. But later, reports surfaced of a nearby classified military exercise, and Andrews claimed he was approached by shadowy officials who urged him to stop his research. His career never recovered. And yet, the mystery deepens. Some designs, like the Mandelbrot set crop circle near Stonehenge, show mathematical precision beyond simple pranks, intricate fractal geometry that mirrors the golden ratio, accurate down to inches. Theories range from plasma vortices and secret energy weapons to something stranger, a kind of coded communication drawn not for us, but for something watching from above. Skeptics still insist that every circle can be explained by human hands, and many can. But as Rogan points out, a few defy logic. Perhaps it isn't about aliens or the supernatural at all. Perhaps it's a mirror, a reflection of our obsession with patterns, order, and the unknown. Because whether drawn by pranksters or something we can't yet name, one truth remains. Each circle begins with a flash of light, a ripple in the wheat, and a question that refuses to die.